Hi, these are the books that I got for the month of January 2024, and it's a combination of my um, pull list from my LCS, which wasn't very much, and also I had a $50 gift card, MasterCard, and so I decided to go on abooks.com and get a few books. So first book I wanted to just mention is Yellow by Jay Martin. This is published by Dark Horse. This was published actually came out in December of 2024. When I first saw this solicited, I saw the cover and I was like, oh yeah, this something about this spoke to me. And the synopsis is that this is a soldier, this is an alternate future America where you have a civil war and he's part of one side, and for reasons that we get into, he goes AWOL and decides just to get out of this war, and he's kind of like on this cross-country trek. So, I mean, just something about that and this cover really intrigued me. I did read the previous graphic novel that Jay Martin did, also published by Dark Horse, and I thought that was actually a pretty good book. So that got me more excited to read this. So I'm really excited to read this. Art's really good. I love the use of colors and shadow and lighting. Just really clean artwork, but it's effective. I thought he was a pretty good writer based on his last book. And as I said, think this will be a good read. I'm looking forward to it. The next book I got was Fist of the North Star, Volume 15. These books come out quarterly, the last week of the months of December, March, June, and September. This is being published almost for 3 years. The 18th and final volume will be published at the end of September. And I've really enjoyed this series quite a bit. This is usually not my thing, but the art's great, the story's great. This is sort of like, this is based in a large part on, or inspired, I would say, by Mad Max. Just really dig these stories. The art's great. After volume 10, it slowed down a little bit because in real life, the manga was extended. So they were trying to reset a few things and set the stage for the rest of the series. And actually, it's pretty good now. I really gotten to enjoy it. I think it's going to have a good finish. But yeah, these books, most of them are $19.95. They switched to $25. I think they went up in price. I want to say volume 14 or 13. As I said, I've been collecting all these since they first started being published. So I'm looking forward to reading the rest of them before the end of the year. The next one is from Titan Books. This is IL. This is a manga by Osamu Tezuka. This is the first time it's been published in English, and it actually came shrink wrapped. So it says it contains explicit content. So I'm assuming that it contains some type of nudity. This was published, serialized originally in 1969. So this is just around the point where Tezuka started making Gekiga, or more adult-themed books. He was being considered to being kind of like old-fashioned, over-the-hill Gekiga, which was created by Yoshihiro Tatsumi, was the rage. And so Tezuka, after a while, was like, okay, fine, you want Gekiga? I'll give you Gekiga. So, as I said, this book, I don't know much of the story about it, but usually when it comes to Tezuka, I'll buy it, especially it's from like 1970 and forward. I really like that darker period. I think the stories weren't so kiddish, you know, but the art is still there. The quality is still there. I usually find that I like most of the books from this period. So this came out in December of 2024 from Titan. I don't know if there's going to be multiple volumes of this, or if this is just a one and done kind of thing. I'll find out when I finish reading it. But I'm always happy to see when Osamu Tezuka is being translated for the first time to English audiences. I think I've only read one of his works that I really didn't care for that much, but even that was still nice to look at and has some interesting, good things about it. So you can't go wrong with this. So this is Bomba by Tezuka. This was published by Vertical Press, I think 2022. I've read good things about it. So this was a library edition. And I don't really care. I mean, some people are very particular about their books, like they can't be, library editions, or they can't be marked on the bottom for disposal. They have to be pristine, I guess, because they want to resell them. But to me, all I care about is that the book is good enough condition to read, and that's why I get it. I'm not planning on the resale value. So I'm not sure what this book is about, but it's supposed to be pretty good. Has the French flaps, which is funny, and looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun. Next up is Notes from a Defeatist by Joe Sacco. I'm a huge Joe Sacco fan. Joe Sacco to me is one of the best cartoonists living today, and I admire his guts in calling out things as he sees them, being a real journalist. So this is something that actually my friend Richard Hind, who goes by Yumi Cherry Tree on Instagram, talked about how, told me he was reading. And so I have several Sacco books in my collection. This is from January 2003, the first printing. So this is a lot of his early work. But I still think that all this work is just great work. Even his early stuff, I have his first 6 issues of the comic he worked on in Fantagraphics, and I think those are great. I just really enjoy reading everything he does. So I'm looking forward to reading this. And again, I stuck with an author whose work I really admire and really like. And I feel like an old fuddy-duddy because this book is over 20 years old. And it's funny because I'm trying to get this balance of reading stuff that's recently printed, but then I end up reading also this stuff that's old, but I think it's kind of interesting to read some of this older stuff. Next is Runoff by Tom Manning. Tom Manning is someone who I was made aware of by Colin at Loading the Cannon. And I actually have 2 of his books. I have Eric and I have Bearing Straight. And Bearing Straight is his most recent book. And those books are really well done. They're unique. He makes graphic novels that are unlike anybody else's graphic novels. Just really good art, really good story, just really unique takes on stuff. There's almost like a little bit of, I wouldn't know if I would say David Lynch in there, but there's a little bit of stuff in there that isn't spelled out for you that you have to kind of think about. There are definitely books that you can go back and reread and get more out of. Bearing Straight was a book that I loved. It came out 2-3 years ago. But this is one of his earliest works. Now, he actually self-published this, or published with a small publisher. It's a hardcover version. But I was able to get this for a good price. I think it's also, it's from the Moose Jaw Public Library, and that's a library that's that's located in Saskatchewan, maybe like 80 kilometers southeast of Saskatoon, and somehow it ends up here. But I don't care. This is like an oversized graphic novel. Got this from Better World Books. I don't care. The book is in pretty good shape. I don't care if it's a library book. Again, Tom Manning is someone that's making very unique comics, very unique art. Just somebody that just is doing something really different and really good. And I recommend visiting his site. I recommend checking out Bearing Straight or Eric. Those are just unique graphic novels that kind of stay with you after a while. Really looking forward to this. I don't even know what it's about, but I know that I'm going to really dig it because it's Tom Manning. Highly recommended. And last but not least, and the reason I probably didn't get as many books from the $50 as I could have, because I used most of the card, now I got 4 books, is because I wanted to get this. And this was a book that was, the condition was like new. it was with shipping. Free, shipping was free, so with tax, it was a little bit under $18. This retails for $35. I gotta tell you, I never knew that this book was this oversized. Just to kind of show you, for comparison's sake, this is a typical graphic novel as of today. This book is oversized, and it is really a beautiful physical object. This is the, oh, let me see. I think it's the first edition, first printing, July 2013. This book is oversized. It's a beautiful hardcover. The pages are slick paper. I'm not going to go over the history of Love and Rockets with this, but since I've gotten the 15 trade paperbacks that comprises volume 1, I decided to get this book, and instead of paying $35 plus tax and shipping, I paid $18. These covers are just freaking gorgeous. You got rule of thirds going on. You got this beautiful use of negative space. Just, again, more negative space. These are the back. It includes the covers, and then also includes the back covers. This is the cover to number 9 that I talked about recently. It looks even better without all the verbiage and larger. Just, if you're a fan of the series, this is really a beautiful set. And like I said, since I have the trade paperbacks that collect the series, and I don't get the covers in color, now I got their covers in color. And these are the first printing covers, because, for instance, I think it's issue number 3. And this is just beautiful work. But issue number 3, this one, this is the first printing. The second printing, the beams are yellow. And that's the hard thing with Love and Rockets. If you're trying to get the old issues, especially the first maybe 10 or so, or later on, I don't know how many they did, but that they did multiple printings, but you might get like a second or third printing, but the dealer is going to want to charge you the price for the first printing. So you really have to know which printing you're getting. It's a big pain. So I just said, forget it. I'm just going to get the collections, and the collections, my way, are a better way of reading it. Just really, really great covers, oversized, great quality paper. And not only does it include all the covers, but it includes the covers for the trade paperbacks that I've been collecting. So that's pretty cool. And then it has some other things, and it has these other covers, these collections. Just really lovely book, just very well made. I know Fantagraphics makes great books, but this is just knocking it out of the park. And the fact that this book is almost 12 years old, and it's a first printing, and it looks brand new, and it's in outstanding condition, just so shows the quality that Fantagraphics is going for. This is just a really gorgeous book. I know people have talked about it, but when I got it, I was surprised at how big it was. I was just surprised at what a beautiful book it really is. To me, unless you got all the covers, or you have the first 50 collection where you can have the covers, if you have it in any way, shape, or form, this is the book to get, to see these gorgeous covers and just this artwork. I mean, you can just look at this all day, just how good all this is. So that's really it. Just got a lot of different diverse books. Keeps it fresh, keeps it interesting. So if you have any questions, or if you have any insight to these books, let me know. Thanks.